Alright guys, welcome back to What If Bardock Survived. This will be the final episode. I hope you enjoyed this series. I know I did. With all that being said, let's get to it. It's been a few months since the Omni King permanently fell asleep. With the Omni King God, and no one really able to keep the gods of destruction in check, they started to go to war with each other. They couldn't directly fight because then the universe itself would be destroyed, so they sent massive proxy wars against each other, and some gods even started to kill Supreme Kais, destroying the other. It was a chaotic age where every god tried to take over the universe, where every god tried to rule, but it didn't matter, because Bardock was through fighting. He was tired of it. As Bardock sat down, get gray hair all over, and he was with his family. He knew what was happening. Saiyans don't age at all until they reach a certain age, and they rapidly age and die. Bardock looked at his family and said, "I love you all. I am proud I got to fight with you." Kakarot would cry as he would hug Bardock. "It doesn't have to end like this. We can wish for your youth back." Bardock would say, "I don't want that. I lived a full life. Besides, after everything that's happened, after what I did with the Omni King, I think it's best that I just die." Bardock would have made his decision, deciding to die, and as an old man. Broly and the rest wouldn't really agree, but there was nothing they can do. But Bardock would smile and say, "Don't cry. Before I go, I have one last request." Bardock would say as he would get up, "I want to fight all my sons." They would all nod, as then they'll begin to play rock, paper, scissors to see who gets to fight him first. And the first one up would be Kakarot. Kakarot would be excited to fight his father. He was sad that he was going to die, but at least he got to go out with a fight. Kakarot looked at him and turned Super Saiyan Blue. "Are you ready to go all out?" Bardock would laugh as he turned blue too. "I wouldn't have it any other way." As Bardock and Kakarot both began to battle each other and push each other further and further. As they all continued the battle and push each other, it seemed like Kakarot had the upper hand, but then Bardock looked at him and turned Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. Bardock managed to evolve Blue and become even stronger. And as Kakarot fought, he just couldn't keep up with Blue Evolution. As eventually he would be defeated, Kakarot would smile and say, "You're still as strong as ever, father, even in your old age." Bardock would laugh and say, "Of course I am. I am a warrior after all." Kakarot and Bardock would then begin to hug each other as they savored this moment. This was a moment between father and son, and this was a moment to enjoy. As then Raditz walked up and said, "Is it my turn, father?" Bardock would smile and say, "Yeah, why not? Show me what you got." Raditz would then look at him and turn blue. As then Bardock would smirk as he would turn blue too, and they would both begin to battle each other. And as they battled, Broly watched as he smiled. He was ready to fight too. Even though Broly didn't like to fight, he loved his father. Sure, Paragus might have been his real father, but Paragus wasn't there for him. Bardock was. Paragus was insane and wanted to try to rebuild the Saiyan race. Broly was just happy to see Bardock smile and to see him have a nice end, and so was Kakarot. As they continued to watch, they looked up at Bardock. As Bardock fought Raditz, Raditz would hit Bardock with a double Sunday, as Bardock would take it straight on, grabbing it and tossing the double Sunday away. As his hand began to shake and sting, Bardock would say, "Not too bad, you even made my hand sting. Hope you're not going easy on me because I'm an old man." Raditz would say, "Trust me, father, I would never go easy on you." Bardock would smirk and say, "Good, because if you did, I don't know if you would survive." Him and Bardock just laughed as they continued to battle each other. Bardock couldn't believe that this would be his last fight with his son. He was so proud of him, while Raditz was proud of his father and happy that he rescued him. He would think back to many years ago, when he was simply a child, and Vegeta and Nappa had him. He would have been a servant forever. He would have been under their thumb, but now he's free, and it's all thanks to his dad. He would think back on all the adventures he had with him, all the fond memories, and it made Raditz smile. Raditz would never forget Bardock, his father, the man who saved him. As then Bardock would look and say, "Let's finish this in an interesting way." Raditz would say, "What do you have in mind?" Bardock would say, "A beam struggle. Doesn't that sound fun?" Raditz would smirk and say, "Be my guest." but I hope you don't die from this, otherwise Broly won't be able to fight you. Bardock then began to charge a Kamehameha. As Bardock charged a Kamehameha, Raditz would charge a double Sunday. Both of them looked at each other as they began to yell at each other, charge up all of their energy, all of their power, into one massive blast. As Bardock charged his Kamehameha, he blasted straight towards Raditz. As Raditz charged his double Sunday, he blasted straight towards Bardock. Now, even though they were going all out, they went all out to an extent. They didn't want to kill the other, so they were still holding back somewhat, but they still had a good time. As they began to push further and further and further, it was an epic stalemate. Neither one could clash the other one. Bardock would say, I gotta say, I'm proud of how strong you are, Raditz. But we both know who's gonna win here. Raditz would look down and say, me, right? Bardock would laugh and say, oh, Raditz, you're so funny. Bardock would transform to Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, as he would push the Kamehameha past the Double Sunday and hit Raditz straight in the face. This would cause Raditz to fall down. Bardock would be worried that he went too far, as he ran over and hugged Raditz, but Raditz would laugh and say, don't worry, I'm fine, I just need some healing. Bardock would give him a sensu bean and apologize for going a bit too far, but Raditz would say that's okay. As they would both laugh, they began to look at each other. As then Bardock looked at Broly and said, I guess you're the last one. Broly got up and said, are you sure you want to do this? Bardock would say, yes, I'm sure. Broly and Bardock would then begin to fly up into the sky as they both started to battle each other. Broly had the advantage. Even with Bardock's Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, Broly just got stronger the more they fought, and usually Bardock would try to knock out Broly right away. And he tried, but not as seriously. He was having a good time. And Broly learned how to deal with his anger, so he wasn't a threat. He was proud of Broly. He could have been a monster, a man of destruction and chaos. But now look at him. He's a man who calmed himself down, who found inner peace, and is now able to fight without worrying about causing so much needless death or destruction. Broly truly did save himself, and so did Bardock. As they continued the battle, Broly got stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. Bardock would try technique after technique, but it wouldn't be good enough, as eventually Broly would knock him down. Bardock would say, I give up. Can you do something for me, Broly? Broly would look and say anything. Look after Kakarot for me. And Raditz. They'll still be strong people after I go, and I want you to protect them. Broly would promise to protect them, as then they all had a nice campfire together. Months would pass, and eventually Bardock would pass away. After aging rapidly and becoming old, his body just couldn't handle it anymore, and he would die. As Bardock passed away, his spirit would go into the other world. As he waited in line, King Yama would just smile. Seeing all the good things Bardock did, seeing how he turned his life around, he would decide to give him a body. And as Bardock was walking away, he would feel something hug him. As he looked behind, it was Gine. It's been so long. Bardock would cry as he hugged her. It's been forever. Gine would smile, and as they would talk, Bardock truly missed Gine. She was the one kind-hearted Saiyan he ever knew before he met his boys. She was the one person that pushed him to become better, and the one person that set him on this track. And he was happy he got to see her after so long. It seemed like Bardock could truly be happy. Bardock would rest on King Kai's planet. King Kai was a North Kai, and he saw Bardock and saw the good things he did, and he decided to let him rest on his planet as a reward. As Bardock would rest there and make that his new home, the God of Destruction wars would continue. Bardock and his family would try to stay out of it, only getting involved if Beerus made them, and that is going to leave things off. Hope you all enjoyed this series, and I could have had one fantastic battle or something like that, but Bardock was old at this time. Most likely he would die, but he had a great family as he died, a family that loved him, and a family that he loved too. And he chose a new path in life. Instead of death and destruction, he would create something. He created a family, and he created a home for many others on Earth and across the universe. Bardock would truly be a hero in this timeline, who turned around his life, all because he managed to escape. And yeah, there should be a poll up now for the next series, so please go vote on that if you haven't. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video with all your friends. Well, that being said, peace out.